read it yet. Is it that fucking bad?
Hey,
It's
fuck
not
that
that
guy.
fucking bad. No, fuck you, Tim. We're doing the question. We're live again. You're fucked, buddy. You walked into an ambush, Tim.
God damn.
So I have not seen the question yet. I'm going to be surprised. when
Welcome
we
to the
read it.
Practical Pistol Show. My name's Ben. We're here to answer your shooting question. On deck today, Matt Hopkins,
Hello.
Tim Herron.
Hey, what's up, guys?
It's like, I should put it in there. Tim, your podcast sucks, Herron. Or something like
God damn it.
And Mr. Nick.
I guess.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Yes. We're ready to do this. First question. Ben, your podcast sucks, and the advice your colleagues offer is really substandard, especially Tim Herron.
God damn. Fuck that
Does it
guy.
really fucking say that?
Yeah, it really says that. Just for that, I'm not answering this goddamn question.
Not really. Just wanted to bring those egos down a notch. That's you, Tim Herron. Not only does he want to fucking call you like a sawed-off little motherfucker, but he wants to knock your ego down a peg, too. I love the show and all that you guys do. Really, all that I do. Yeah, get me going on IPSC, and we'll see how you fucking like that. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Is over-aiming a thing? I'm pretty convinced it's my big stumbling block at the moment. Anything 7 yards and in, I can hose with strong confidence. It feels more or less like dry fire. At 10 yards, things start to slow down considerably. In practice, I can observe myself dwelling on sights in match videos, running them through Shot Coach. It's apparent as well. On the hoser stuff, I can hang, but for some reason, at 10 yards plus, I pump the brakes. My draw slows down by a quarter of a second from 7 yards, moving to 10. My splits by about the same. A quarter of a second? What? That's me. I'm interjecting. Jesus. What drills, live and dry fire, would you guys recommend to speed up visual processing? Holy shit. That's a big difference, Tim. Are you sure you want to help this guy out?
I got a sarcastic answer.
Okay, Matt, let's hear it.
Shoot from 10 yards and beyond.
What was sarcastic about that?
I don't know.
Because we're probably going to have like a 10-minute conversation here that ends with us telling him about these drills that are going to be taking place at longer distances, right?
Sorry I ruined it for everybody then.
Spoiler alert, Matt Hopkins is a dick. All right, Nick, what do you think about this?
Yeah, so, I mean, really just the first thing that kind of stood out to me, a quarter second moving from 7 to 10 yards in draw.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I mean, for me, I got to go out to a minimum 25 yards before I have that kind of increase. But anyway, I mean, like Matt said, it's you got to practice what you're bad at. You know, I don't know what else to tell him. You got to practice difficult, tight shots at speed and various ranges, and just got to keep hammering at it until you're better at it. You know, in dry fire, I would focus on just trying to execute good, clean, sight pictures with seeing light on both sides of the front post. And but for me, this kind of work has to really be done in live fire. It's kind of me personally, but to get better at that kind of stuff, I got to live fire it. I got live fire it a lot, so that's what I do.
Okay. Mr. Tim Herron, what do you think? Are you really going to say fuck this guy?
No, I'm not going to say fuck. No, not at all.
Tim, this is why people say you're too nice a guy. This guy writes in this letter, he pulls your mouth open, he takes a shit in it, and you're still going to help him out.
I am still going to help him out.
You're too nice.
I agree with Nick. It's not something you're going to necessarily fix in dry fire. It's definitely something you're going to need to see results from how you're shooting and the speeds at which you're shooting at 10 yards and beyond. Something tells me, obviously, this guy probably trains primarily at 7 yards and in, and obviously he likes to practice and train the stuff that he enjoys doing. I mean, everybody likes to go fast. A lot of all your 7 yards and in. So, and of course, everybody likes that kind of stuff. Again, with Nick, I don't see any substantial difference at all at a 7-yard target and a 10-yard target, or a 10-yard to a 12-yard target. kind of something I think about is more that like things start to go a little. You'll start to see differences in your shooting speed for max 12. So, anything from a foot in front of the muzzle to about 12 yards or so, I generally shoot at the same pace, same type of sight picture, same acquisition, all that kind of stuff. When I start to move the targets out to 15, 20, 25, then I'll start to see a substantial difference in shot splits. Primarily just because you have to kind of focus a little bit more on the sight settling and calling good shots, but every single time you press the trigger. Trigger control obviously comes into a much deeper effect at 15 yards and beyond as well. But at 10 yards, I think a lot of it is probably he doesn't realize exactly what he can get away with or how loose his sight pictures can be at close distances all the way out to 25 yards and beyond. So, something I like guys to kind of an aha moment is something I've been posting around on Facebook in the last few weeks too, is like sight deviation drill, like learning what deviated sights and what the result, point of impacts on targets looks like to not have a perfect sight picture, and then what you're not kind of what like having a much more looser sight picture and what that can result in as far as good hits at 15, good hits at 20, good hits at 25. So I think he'd be really surprised at exactly with misaligned sights, can still garner what kind of hits at a certain distance.
Hey guys, I have a theory. It's a good one.
Let's hear it.
So, Tim, have you ever seen some dude practicing his draw, like dry fire, and you can see he just like throws the gun up in front of his face, and you can tell he's not seeing his sights or anything, but he's like draws the gun up fast. Like that's his whole focus is whip the gun out fast. He's not worried about grip or sight picture or anything. You know what I'm talking about? And
Absolutely.
And then you see that guy go to competition and actually do a draw where the hits are going to get scored and it's going to matter. Like in practice, he can use the force a little bit and shoot the close targets pretty good. And then he goes to a match and he draws the gun, he actually aims, and he's a lot slower. But he doesn't really practice the aiming a whole lot. Like his training is just speed.
Right.
All right. So that type of dude. My theory is this dude is doing that thing. What do you think about that? So let me talk you through it. He's focused on whipping the gun out fast in his dry fire probably. He can whip out the gun fast and use the force and hit stuff close quickly. And then when he actually aims, slows him down a lot. Does this sound like a reasonable theory? Did we just lose?
It sounds like he's not practicing at anything beyond 7 yards much.
So what you're saying, Nick?
Really?
I don't think he's doing any live fire.
So Nick, what you're saying is that this guy needs to practice shooting at 10 yards and beyond.
Yeah. Emphasis on the beyond part.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt Hopkins, Dick, for spoiling.
I would, to me, and trying to dump on Tim. I mean, we know from the email he gives bad advice, but
no, feel free to dump on Tim.
Oh, shit.
Don't hold back.
No, I'm gonna disagree slightly though. I'm gonna say to me 12 yards is not exactly hoser range. I'm not personally. I don't shoot at exactly the same pace at like 12 yards. I do like 7 and in, but
well, that's what I said. 12 is kind of like your like that's kind of the magic number where things start to slow down considerably.
Yeah. Okay.
What is that in metric?
1,000 feet.
Doing a podcast. It's nice to see you. Say hello to everybody, Keita.
Hello.
All right.
Hi.
Guys, for the audio rip listeners, Keita's wearing just a bikini walking around the house.
Yeah.
He's about to get slapped.
For the audio rip listeners, I just got slapped.
Yeah, I would push this guy. I would take him. I'd be like, just run a few practice sessions and don't shoot any closer than like 20 yards. Try that for a while and see how that goes.
That's so far.
It's really not.
Yeah, you're right.
Really not.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Hi, I'm looking for advice on what gun I should choose to shoot. I've been shooting USPSA for about a year and a half. I've been shooting limited for about half of that. I don't know why anyone would shoot production when limited is so much more fun. Answer to your little question, buddy, because we're fags. Anyway, I recently made A in limited. I currently shoot a 2011, and I'm looking to get a backup gun in the near future. I have 2 kids on the way. 2 on the way? What? This guy's
2 different women, obviously.
Maybe it's different women. Maybe he's just.
He must be in Utah.
Jesus. Yeah, okay. 2 kids on the way, and the prospect of getting another 2011 grows dimmer each day. The due date gets closer. 2 little words, buddy. American Express. Anyway, I have a G35 setup as a limited blaster and enough parts and a frame. I could set up another G35 for around $500. I also use a Glock for work. My question to you and your merry band of fuckwits is, would you keep shooting the 2011 and use the G35 as a backup, or sell the 2011 and shoot Plastic Fantastics? Is it really the Indian and not the Arrow, or is there something to the $2,500 price difference between a limited Glock and a 2011? Jesus. What did you guys?
It's not funny a question, Tim.
Oh,
I like
shit.
it.
That's real, Matt?
Dude, I didn't fucking post it. Tim did.
Tim, is that real? Did this
Yes,
guy
it
ask
is.
Steve Anderson the same question?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
It was just on Steve's podcast like 4 days ago.
Well, then that means by the time people hear this, that'll be like, well,
A
okay.
week.
2
A week
women.
Let's
later.
be honest, not many people listen to this show, and like even less
Very true.
listen to that one. So
God damn.
what?
Let's answer his question.
Well, what's the correct answer?
What's
Buy
the correct?
Infinity.
What's that?
Oh.
Yeah, buy Infinity. You know what? If this guy really wants to save money, just shoot production. Cheaper ammo too.
It's
I was
actually
gonna say, man,
absolutely
that's
true.
one reason I shoot production, so I can have 4 guns. Whatever.
Shut up with your logic, Nick. Does this guy want to know what he should do or what I would do?
I think he wants to know what you would do.
I
He
would
wants to
shoot-
know what Hoppy would do. He wants to know what Nick would do, and
I
he
would
definitely
shoot-
doesn't want to know what I
I
would
would
do.
shoot the gun that I like.
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't get into this because I give a fuck about my financial situation. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what we're doing here. I would shoot the gun that I like. If I like the 2011 2% better than the Glock, I'm shooting the 2011. Because that's the kind of guy I am. If I like the Glock better, I'll shoot the fucking Glock. All right? It's real simple. And if he thinks it's going to be tough to get a 2011 now, just wait until he sells his 2011 and then 6 months down the line realizes he fucked up and tells his wife he needs to buy the 2011 back. Yeah, good luck with that because that money's gone. So I would shoot the gun that I like. That's what I would do. But that's me. Matt, what would you do?
Sell both guns and buy a revolver. That way he gets to keep all his brass and he never ever has to buy brass again.
It's genius. Or he could just sell all of his guns completely.
Dude, that is.
Get a second
is.
job and start being a responsible adult for a change.
That is no fun at all.
Yeah, fuck that. Tim, would you shoot the Glock or the 2011?
Me being a 1911 guy, yeah, 2011 is what I would shoot just because. So, I mean, the triggers are better. Everything else is better on them. I mean,
Yeah, we all know
but-
it's the Indian and not the Arrow, but does that stop it
Right.
for us? Do we really care?
not
about
at all. Not at all. No, everybody wants to, just like you said. I mean, what's most fun to shoot?
that? Well, like,
You know, if the 2011 is more fun to shoot and it keeps you in the sport and wanting to shoot continuously, then yeah, that's the gun you need to keep.
like, no, I'm not the guy who's like trying to get my trigger like as light as possible.
I'm not either.
Or re-barreling. Like if I have a Glock 35, I'm not gonna re-barrel the thing to try and make it more accurate or some kind of stupid shit like that. Like it doesn't have to be the best gun possible, but
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah,
it should at
everybody
least
should know
be-
that.
Yeah, it should be like the frame and the style of gun that I like.
Correct.
That's what it should be.
And we all know, because we've all seen guys at every range that we all belong to, that goes out and buys a Glock like a Glock 35 and then wants to put a big old magwell and a plug through, in the frame, and a heavy guide rod and a barrel and a badass trigger and everything in it. And what do they end up inherently doing to the gun? They make the gun shittier than it was if they would have just left it alone and shot the damn thing.
I was going to say Glocks tend to run. The Glocks that don't run are the Glock 35 set up for limited.
Exactly. Exactly.
Glock
Right.
set up for open, I think is what you.
No, those run fine until they explode.
Glocks that are just modified, period. It seems like, you start taking away what makes the Glock great when you start adding a bunch of go fast parts on them. So I don't know. You got a 2011. That gun's kind of basically built and set up to go fast anyway. Just shoot the 2011. Sell the Glock. Buy a couple extra parts if you're concerned about needing a backup gun. You don't need a whole backup gun. Fuck, I've shot for 6 years now, and
I'm gonna go ahead and contradict Tim there. You're going to need a backup gun. If you're serious about this.
What do you have to do to make a Glock like unlimited? You just need to add a weight to the front and fix the trigger, and boom, you're done. Like, that's it, right?
No, I agree. You do need a backup gun.
I don't know what you do to a Glock to make it set for limited. It's a goddamn production gun.
You mount
an empty flashlight with lead pellets in it to add some weight to it, a big magwell, mag extensions, and good sights.
It's like so much work. I would just buy the 2011. That shit is exhausting to figure all that out.
So,
I don't know. If you have a gun that you like, shoot the gun that you like. Don't sell the gun you like.
I would keep the 2011 and I would shoot the Glocks and see if I can make them work for me. I wouldn't want to have one gun, period. So.
Well, he could always he uses a Glock at work, so he could always use his duty gun.
Yeah. Right. So if you can't afford to shoot 2011s the way that you need to, then you have to switch to a platform that you can afford to shoot.
What do you guys think the difference in his score will be between the 2011 and the Glock?
1,000%, easily.
I would say he's probably going to get a better score with a Glock, because I think there's better odds of that running, right?
I think you'll get a better score whatever he shot the longest.
Right.
You're probably right. I'm trying to find a way to twist this.
I honestly don't see there being a difference in his scores at all.
No, probably not. That's probably true.
If you don't have to sell the 12011 you have, just keep it. Give the Glocks a shot. If you can't make it work, you still got the 2011. If you can make the Glocks work, then it sounds like you're going to be able to, have yourself properly equipped with a primary and a backup and whatever. So that's what I would do.
What would you shoot between those two?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
I'd shoot the Glock. Based on his financial situation, I'd shoot the Glock.
His financial situation.
No, we're not asking his financial situation. Exactly. We're talking about what would Nick Yanatola do.
I think he should shoot the Glock and sell the 2011 and roll that into an individual retirement account, the money he saves. And what the fuck are you talking about? No.
If you're not funding your retirement account, you need to.
What gun would you prefer to shoot?
I wouldn't shoot either one. I can't shoot either one of those guns. So I wouldn't shoot
Jesus God.
The Glock makes my hand bleed, and the 2011 the frame shape doesn't work for me at all. So that's why I shoot Tanfolios.
So basically, Nick's saying to sell everything off and buy a Tanfolio.
Sell everything, buy a Tanfolio.
Yeah, there you go.
And shoot blue.
Which are sold at a very good discount at the Vince Steger Pro Shop.
No, they're not. Actually.
We're joking about it, but the Tanfolio.
You know how when you go to buy fish and it just says MP next to it, it's terrifying. That's kind of how the Tanfolios work at the Pro Shop, but they're market price. I mean, it's just what they go for. We don't try to gouge out your eyeballs on the guns, because we're looking to fuck you up on the gear, right?
Yeah.
You need a holster with that? Need a belt? Need some mag pouches? Need some parts?
Man, have you come to the right place?
The $1,000 fucking slide stops you guys sell?
We got all your bullshit. Hey, they're not $1,000. How much are they, Hopkins? How much are they right now?
I thought they were like $80-something, weren't they?
Listen, here's my question for you. I've got one slide stop in my gun right now that looks kind of worn out. But I've got a slide stop for a CZ, but no CZ. And I'm wondering if I should trade that slide stop for the CZ, or I should sell my Tanfolio and buy a CZ. Doesn't make any sense, does it?
Sell everything and buy a Glock.
Shit, that's actually probably the correct answer for pretty much anything.
A pair of Glock 35s and shoot major. Shoot
No,
limited.
shoot the gun that you like.
Say you have
Don't worry about
Ben
kids.
Steger's gun.
About
Fucking
kids.
scalp that shit on gun.
They basically raise them. You just put some newspaper down in the kitchen. You put some marshmallows in their little dish. They crawl around. They're fine. Whatever.
If you have one gun, period. Like
I don't
that.
backup gun, exactly one. And at that point, the match was
Oh my
fucked.
god. Pro shop for slide stop and like 80 of them came up. This is very confusing. We have way
Better-
too many stuff. We gotta get rid of.
You
Some
better
of this
call that
20
Myers guy.
No, we should get rid of some of this 2011 bullshit. It just bogs everything down, so you can get right to the Tanfolio parts. Anyway,
How much does it cost?
okay, slide stop is $45
For what?
for the slide stop
For which gun?
for the EAA Tanfolio Witness. CZ
You sure?
SPO1 slide stop is $34. Also available at the pro shop. Now, I actually think the Tanfolio slide stops are cheaper in the long run
How?
because they don't break every 5,000 fucking rounds like they do in the CZs.
Mine don't.
I was about to say, I have yet to replace a slide stop in a Tanfolio.
How many times have you physically witnessed a CZ slide stop break, Nick?
Several.
Exactly. Is that it then,
not-
Hopkins? I think.
It's
Man,
not
they
our
are
fault. We
45
have like
now.
100 times the guns Tanfo does out on the market.
Hey, look! All I got to say about the slide stops, you get what you pay for, bro.
Oh,
Whatever, dude. I don't
Yeah,
think so.
I thought they had doubled to like $80, but now Tim's got them listed at 45. That's not bad.
Now,
Tim,
Kita
Tim-
actually is wearing a bikini. Come out here, Kita. We're done recording. Say hi to the guys.
She knows better than that.
Yeah, we're really done. No,
no, no.
come on. Say hi to the guys.
Not a bikini, it's workout clothes.
Yeah, you're gonna go do your workout. Got to keep that bod tight.
Hi, Keita.
I
She can't hear you because I'm wearing headphones.
You're such a dick.
Tim is just being funny.
Oh,
Anyway,
my
guys,
God.
let's move on to the next question.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm blocking you. Ow!
Oh.
That
was
sounded like
good.
pretty solid impact.
Yeah,
It
that's pretty good.
didn't
That
feel
was a good one.
All right.
Ooh, that was awesome.
Okay. Hi, Ben. I wanted to get your thoughts on the order in which to shoot targets and why. Do you shoot the first target you see, the closest, or the furthest? Do you shoot steel in an array first or last? Holy shit. Some examples from my last match. A popper at 35 yards and targets at 10 and 20 on one side and 15 and 25 on the other. The fastest shooter in our squad shot it left to right. Another started with 2 close targets and another further out flanked by 2 steel plates. All right, so he asked another question. Leaning around a wall, close target with another target further out flanked by a steel plate. Does shooting an array like this change depending on which target you see first or whether you then have to leave this position or you finish the stage there? Thank you for your help. Holy shit, guys. This is a very complicated question with a very simple answer. Hopkins, give him the answer, please. Spoiler alert that shit. What order did you shoot the stuff?
I didn't follow the question. It was like too complicated.
All right, give him the answer then. He wants to know what order to shoot the targets.
Doesn't fucking matter.
Boom. Tim, what do you think?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, but what about this one thing? Like what about starting on the long stuff or starting on the close
Learn how
stuff?
to shoot it all. And
It doesn't matter. Exactly. You better be practicing entering and exiting on all of that stuff all the time.
Right. So then the goal then is just to shoot the simple order, like as it appears, like
Yes.
You know, if you come in on the right side of a wall, you just shoot the shit right to left or whatever. Like you shoot the simplest order of the targets as they appear. That's usually going to be fine.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, Mr. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's just completely situationally dependent. I mean, you can't answer this question in a verbal discussion
Well,
like
he
this
told you
without
like
being able to see
4
the stage.
examples, right?
Yeah, but
You couldn't keep track of all of those. I don't think anybody could.
if you can be shooting something while doing something else, that's probably a good idea. So if you got a really close target that you can shoot like while setting up into a position or while breaking kind of out of a position, that's probably a good idea. You know, beyond that, whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever makes the most sense. It's going to depend on obviously the target array, whether you're entering that position, leaving that position. Every situation is just going to be totally different. So.
But at the end of it, Nick, would you say that, I mean, you're the guy who tested this, you can produce pretty similar results with lots of different target orders, right?
Yeah. So, I would say multitask if possible, but besides that, it's just going to come down to how many A's you shoot. It's going to be the most important factor.
Right. I understand this guy wanting to know the answer to this. I mean, I definitely get that. I mean, he's probably a newer guy in the sport, right? He looks at this like, oh my God, it's so complicated. You can shoot all these different orders. But the fact is, it really doesn't usually matter that much. It doesn't. I mean, we've all tested lots of scenarios, lots of ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
And typically, the best way to do it is just, right to left or left to right, kind of as things appear. That's typically the best. Right.
Well, and at the end of the day, too, an easy target is an easy target, and a farther target or a difficult target is still a difficult target.
Yeah,
there's not a way to make.
There's going to be a little pause on the long ones while you let your sights line up, and there's not really a way to get out of that.
Correct.
And then you need to shoot really fast on the close stuff, like very aggressively. As soon as your gun gets to the target, you got to be shooting. No way around that. All right.
Correct.
Fucking bang up show, guys. Right?
Yeah, even if this first guy basically
I described it pretty well when
called me substandard.
No, you said the show was substandard. You said your advice was shitty.
Oh. Such a dude. Man.
The guy's a dick, right?
Yeah. He's probably somebody who knows me too, doesn't he?
He's a fucker. He probably he's going to listen to this and like that he cut you so deep too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tim,
are we live yet?
I am. Live? I'm going to fucking cry myself to sleep tonight.
All right.
Sons of bitches.
Well, anyway, audience people, if you have a question you'd like the answer to, head over to bensteger.com. Get in touch with me. Send me your question. We'd love to hear from you.